New product here from HOLLYLAND, and they're best known for their wireless video capabilities, but this is a brand new wireless audio system, and it looks like it could be pretty cool. User guide. Probably have to look at that. Wow. Okay, this is some sort of box. Okay, cool. Wow, these are small. These are very little mini mic packs. That's pretty wild. They're made out of plastic. They feel kind of cheap, to be honest, but being plastic, they're also very light. So, I mean, you would barely even know you're wearing that. And just for reference, here it is compared to the Rode Wireless Go, which is pretty small. And this must be the receiver that goes on the camera. One thing I noticed on the back of the box, and this is pretty cool, it says it has 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. That's one thing I really like about the Comica. I did a review of some Comica mics, and they also have the ability to use 1 transmitter with 2 mics, because that can be kind of a hassle with other traditional mic systems where you have to have 2 transmitters and 2 mics, especially if you're using smaller cameras or even smartphones. Let's see what else is in here. Looks like a carrying bag, and I assume some cables, yep. And there's a lavalier mic, and a second lavalier mic, so there's 2 mics. And then charging cables, and they are USB-C. And these look like little mini wind muffs or dead cats, whatever you want to call them. And this is the connector that goes to your camera, and it is TRS, and so it's designed for traditional cameras. Hopefully I'll be able to adapt this to a smartphone, because I would really like the ability to use this on a variety of different setups. All right, so I'm testing the built-in mic on the transmitter, and I find these to sometimes not be that great depending on which mic you're using. We'll see how these sound, but overall, I don't use these very often. I mainly use them in a pinch or if I'm not gonna be on camera. If I'm on camera, I like to use the lav mic attachment. But this is how this sounds. I'm inside and I'm about 8 or so feet from the camera and the receiver. So these transmitters are very small, and they do, like other mics on the market, have a built-in microphone. And so that is a nice thing if you want to use these quickly. But one thing nice about these is they do come with this little windscreen, which is great. And it's got a little stud on there, and that goes right in the connector. And so these attach very easily and securely. And I like that quite a bit. That's one of the knocks I've had on my Rode mics and on my Comica mics is the windscreen does not stay on there very well, and actually they fall off. Now they've made those better, but this one works right out of the box and it's great. I'm about 40 to 50 feet away from the camera right now, and I'm using the built-in mic on the transmitter with the windscreen attached. There is a lot of noise around me right now. There's the pool going, there's a pool pump that's clogged with leaves and it's making a horrible racket. There's really no wind, which would really be what the windscreen is for, but there is a bunch of other noise around, and this is how it sounds. And so typically speaking, using this kind of setup with the windscreen can sound okay. Just wanted to show this display is super simple. There's really nothing to it. It just shows that you've got both mics and you've got a mute button. So when you click it, it shows mute, and then it has a meter. And that's really it. It's super simple. And so again, you can mute it, and then you can adjust the gain input with these right here, with these little dials. That would depend on, whatever camera you're using, how much gain you need to send into your particular camera. But I do like the simplicity of this. All right, now I'm inside recording with the transmitter, but I'm using the lav mic attached to it. And so this is how this sounds. And I'm inside, same scenario as I was earlier with just the built-in mic, about 8 feet from the camera and talking normally. This is how I would often use this type of setup, the transmitter combined with a lapel mic, especially if you're going to be on camera or if you're miking talent, that kind of thing. All right, looking at the back of my Sony a6400, and you can see the audio meters going there. And right now I have it set on stereo. The receiver from the HOLLYLAND LARK is set on stereo. And so this would be a nice default way to work, because then each mic goes to one channel. Right now I'm separating the mics, and so the channel 2 mic is now going into the camera. And now the channel 1 mic is going into the camera. And so you can see how the meters react. Now I'll switch to mono. And you just hold down the left-hand button for 3 seconds. Now it's on mono. And so whether you have 1 mic connected or 2 mics connected, you'll be getting the exact same signal. If you're recording 1 person, this would be fine. If you're recording 2 people, it's better to have split track. And so leave it on stereo and have discrete tracks. One nice feature though, if you're only using 1 microphone and you are recording 1 person, but you're worried that they may overmodulate, you hold the left button down on the receiver again for 3 seconds, and it will do what's called a safety track. And so channel 1 will be the normal level you set it at, and channel 2 will be 6 dB lower. Let's say someone yelled really loud and it overmodulated, then your safety track, channel 2, would be good. So these are some more advanced features in what otherwise is a pretty simple system. All right, I'm about 60 feet from the camera. These mics are rated to go 300 feet, and so this should be no problem. That's 300 feet line of sight. I am using the lav mic, and this is what I would normally use if I was going to be on camera. The lav mic is really the way to go. All right, just for kicks, I'm gonna go out the gate and out to the street. I'll try to keep the camera in my eyesight. I'm probably 30 more feet past, so yeah, 100 feet away. Now I'm probably 125 feet. Now I'm out in the street. I'm a good 150 feet. There's a car coming, so I don't want to get run over. Wait for this truck to pass. All right, I can still kind of see the camera. I'm probably 175 feet or 200 feet away. I'm all the way across the street now, and I'm on a sidewalk. So yeah, this is 200 plus feet with an airplane going over, Southwest jet. But this is a pretty good distance. I would probably never be further away than this, if ever this far away. One interesting thing I wanted to point out is that after working with this a little bit, I realized there was only 1 charging cable, and I thought, hey, they forgot to give charging cables for each device, each component. But no, you use this box. This box is the charging case. So it's a case, I guess. And so you put each component in there, and then it charges all together. I've seen this with Aperture. Aperture has some lights, the Aperture MCs. They have a case that you can put the lights in and travel with it. And it is nice. It keeps it much cleaner, and you don't have to worry about as many cables. And especially when you're charging, you don't have to worry about having such a mess, more or less. Voila, I would be charging. So that's a really pretty cool feature. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this setup, but let's talk about iPhone use or smartphone use. It doesn't come with a cable, and so you have to adapt it. And I couldn't get it to work with any of my usual adapter cables. I used one from Rode. You can see it here with FiLMiC Pro. It didn't work. I used another one from Comica. I tried it with FiLMiC Pro. It didn't work either. But I finally got one to work, and that is with a cable from Joby. I don't know why the cables made a difference. I really don't understand it. I guess there's some sort of converter in the mic or maybe in the cable that's allowing this to happen. But either way, it didn't work until I used the Joby cable, and I had to turn the receiver on mono. Once that was done, it all worked fine. I got it to work in Meta Recorder, one of my favorite audio recording apps. Check 1, 2. Okay, I'm rolling now on the Meta Recorder app, and I am able to get it to work. I had to switch it to mono, and I'm using a cable from Joby. And importantly, I also got it to work in FiLMiC Pro. Okay, now I'm testing FiLMiC Pro, and yes, it is working in FiLMiC Pro with this combination. However, it is pretty finicky, and so buyer beware. But the good news is it does work with smartphones with the right settings and the right adapter. I think this is a good mic system, and you get a lot of things in one package for an affordable price. It's great that you can record 2 mics with 1 receiver. It's also great that it comes with the 2 lavalier mics. You don't have to buy those extra. That would cost more money. Overall, I thought the sound quality was pretty robust. Some of the other mics I've tested, especially using the built-in mic on just the transmitter, sound a little bit tinny. This mic has a lot of bass response, and so I think once you take it in post and EQ it, process it some, denoise it, it has the potential to sound pretty good. So overall, I do like this mic setup. In my experience, Hollyland is known as a good company who makes quality products at reasonable prices. And I really think this one falls into that category. So check out the link in the description. Pricing will be included there too. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Blake Calhoun. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.